So, Athena, what makes a film worthy of festival's top prize? Is it bravery, craftsmanship, originality, or something more?
I think what you just said, the combination of a film feeling that it has a voice, that it's very much its own, you know, because it's, you know, cinema is, it's not like you can invent cinema, but you can approach it with a personal gaze that makes it like nothing you've seen it before, although all the ingredients can be the same. There's just something about the tone of the film, or the personal voice, or the way you kind of, you know, work with the story. It's I don't know, it's just something that I think, being on the jury, someone or all of us recognizes something that you can't, I think especially if you can't necessarily describe what it is. So there's like a sense of mystery.
When you watch a film as a jury member, like you said, do you consciously try to separate your personal taste from assessment of a film quality?
It's very difficult to separate personal taste because it's very subjective, you know. So, and I don't believe in like objective assessment of cinema. I don't know what that is. So, in the end, the most interesting thing in a jury is all this conversation between subjectivities, and then somehow you arrive into. Sometimes it's unanimous, and sometimes it's a distribution of the prizes among worthy films. Yeah, sometimes I'm surprised because I see a film that normally it wouldn't be my cup of tea, but I have to consider, you know, the context in which they were made, the creators. Yeah.
Do you maybe have, like you said, cup of tea? What is your personally favorite genre of the movie?
I don't have favorite genres. I like all sorts of different films. So it's yeah, and I think that's my relationship to cinema. You know, I love watching great films in every genre, and especially when there's some kind of, you know, crossover of genres.
Does it move
Which
you?
is something that happens.
Does it
more
move?
and more.
What do you feel when watching a movie that you like? Not especially from Sarajevo Film Festival. I know you watch some movies, but when you watch a film, when you watch a movie at home, does it move you? Do you like the moving from the film, the emotions, the voice of the film?
Again, it depends on the film.
Yeah.
I love to laugh.
So comedies.
Yeah, I love a great comedy.
Yeah.
And also I like any film that I can't quite describe or explain, and I can feel like there is a mysterious energy that sort of like plays with my nervous system. And we've seen a couple of these films in this festival.
Do you have any top picks maybe from Sarajevo Film Festival, if it's not a secret?
Topics?
Top picks,
Oh,
top pickings, yeah.
Yeah, of course I do, but I cannot tell you.
Yeah, I know.
We're in the middle of this.
Yes. Do you value film more when it surprises you or when it moves you? Like I said, emotionally, as a jury member, of course, not subjectively.
It goes together. If it surprises me, it moves me. And if it moves me, it surprises me. Just because it's so difficult right now to actually really encounter a film that, you know, can really transcend expectations. I think we're quite jaded as audience and quite numb. especially since, you know, images, cinema, movies are everywhere, you know, on our phones, in our living room. So it's actually difficult to go into the cinema, and I love watching films in the cinema. One of my favorite part of being on jury is waking up in the morning and knowing that I'm going to be in a great cinema watching. In this particular festival, you know, very, very brave, primarily first or second filmmakers from a region where I come from. So it's actually, to me, it's amazing because I'm like rediscovering what's going on in the minds of, you know, a much younger generation. So I'm learning a lot. It's like going to school every morning.
What do you think about streaming platforms now? Let's say a fight between streaming platforms and traditional cinema.
I don't really see it as a fight. So I don't...
Metaphorically, of course.
Yeah, of course, metaphorically or literally, I think there is a space for both. You know, streaming and cinemas. Completely different experience.
Is there something you immediately recognize in an emerging filmmaker that tells you that they have developed a voice of their own?
Again, if I can explain it and if I can describe it, then it's not exciting to me. So, you know, you know, you can use cliche stuff like, oh, you know, it's like great mise-en-scène, or she has a great grasp of how to direct actors, but it's not. You know, I think that especially, you know, emerging filmmakers are very different than from my generation because they are completely, you know, they're born with images. So there is a certain level of sophistication and language, you know, linguistic ease that it comes naturally to them. So in a way, it's almost the opposite. Like if I see filmmakers who somehow shed all of this built-in knowledge of how image is supposed to work, and there is some rawness, almost like some primitive, you know, sense, a primitive language, where it's like starting from the beginning, something that you can't quite describe, and it gives you the sensation of someone who's like really looking to grasp something, you know, something that hasn't become a trope, you know, a tired, stale, oppressive trope.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think about this year's Sarajevo Film Festivals? About the movie pickings? There are projections in Bosnian Cultural Center here. What do you think about the atmosphere in Sarajevo during the Sarajevo Film Festival?
I think the Sarajevo Film Festival is, you know, first of all, like, you know, historically extremely important festival that has made a difference in every way, you know, so not just in terms of cinema and cinema in the Balkans. It has made it has a huge impact, you know, in the city itself, in the country itself politically, in cinema itself politically, you know, so what Miro has done is like devastating, you know, when you think about the implications of starting a film festival that then, in a way, you know, spreads, dissipates awareness of, you know, the existence, the identity of an entire country and people. So in that effect, I think it's a unique, absolutely unique festival, and it's an absolute honor, I think, for all of us to be part of it. It's amazing to me to feel like I'm in a city that celebrates. I've never seen a city celebrating cinema the way it happens in Sarajevo, and also the sense of hospitality, the fact that every night our hosts are bringing everyone together, and there is conversations about cinema, politics, existence, and new friendships. So, you know, I was very fortunate to have one of my previous films in competition and to have won, you know, a distinction, and to feel like I'm part of the Sarajevo family. I think that there is more work to do in terms of female representation. I think it's amazing actually to see how many female filmmakers are part of competition, but I think it's something that, you know, could be more part of Sarajevo as a festival in general.
Thank you, Atina.
Thank you.